So it sounds to me that this whole foundation settlement method that you follow, obviously that's quite a niche market that you are servicing. Are there other approaches? Do you have competition in the market, a different version of this?
Yes, so our method is an alternative to the more traditional method. So traditionally what people would have done is, and still do, is they call it underpinning. So what they do is they excavate in 1 meter intervals on your foundations, and then they will go roughly a meter below your foundation, and then they cast, they put a rebar cage in there, and they cast mass concrete underneath your foundation. So what it basically does is it enlarges your foundations at this specific position. So in theory, it because you enlarged your foundation, your bearing capacity of your foundation is much bigger, so you can carry the necessary load of the structure. So it might be because they under-designed the foundations when they built the structure, or it might be because of bad soil conditions underneath the foundations. But yeah, that's the traditional way of actually doing it. Why we are in the market is because we believe our process is much, it's better and less intrusive, especially for people, especially for houses. Obviously underpinning, there's a lot of excavation that needs to happen, so it's a very messy process. Yeah, and what we also believe our system, or why our system is better than traditional underpinning, is we actually drill much deeper into the soil. So and then we pump our grout from much deeper down. So we can get deeper underneath the foundations than the normal traditional method of doing it. And yeah, so the big disadvantage of underpinning is if there's weak layers in the soil up to like 2 meters below your foundations, they can't excavate 2 meters below your foundations. It's just too dangerous to put someone in that hole to actually dig the hole. So what happens is they will underpin the first meter, but the second meter deeper down still has weak layers. So you're actually just adding more weight to already weak soil. So it actually just makes the settlement worse. So yeah, that's kind of the big disadvantage of underpinning, and yeah, why we believe our system is much better. So that's a traditional way of addressing that issue. Then there's obviously a lot of, or not a lot of other methods that you can do. The one new technology that originated in Europe and in the US is, like, they call it a polyurethane resin. So it's a 2-component resin that you pump underneath your foundations into the soil, and those 2 components react with each other, and it basically expands and creates like an expanding resin foam. And that, obviously, the same principles that we apply to our grouting is the principles that they apply to their resin. It's just a different material that you use. So we have investigated that a lot, and we have certain equipment to actually do that. And we've done certain projects where we felt that it would actually be a better solution. And yeah, our findings in the last 3-4 years of investigating this in more depth is that, yeah, we just believe that our grouting is actually better.
So is the resin more durable than the grout, or is the grout more durable than the resin?
In our opinion, the grout is more durable than the resin. The thing about the resin is it reacts a lot to water. So if your water table of the underground water that's present around your property or the area where you are building, If the water level fluctuate a lot, obviously between wet and dry seasons, we're not 100% convinced about the reaction to that resin, and that's kind of the main reason why we don't use it that often. We've used it where your work underneath the floor specifically is very shallow and not deep, and where there's literally a little piece of gap that you need to fill. So yes, we believe that the grouting is more durable in terms of water present in the underlying soil than the resin, and that's kind of the reason why we do use the grout.